Hey friend, welcome to the Halfway to Dead podcast. I'm your host, Jen Lovell. Listen, you and I have reached that age where we are done with the bullshit. We know that midlife is our chance to flip the script and experience life on our own terms. It's time to reconnect with our higher selves and reclaim our inner peace. Are you ready with an open heart and an open mind? Awesome, you're in the right place. Hop in and ride shotgun with me on this midlife spiritual journey. Hey guys, guess what? It's just you and Jen on this midlife spiritual journey riding solo today. Yep, I don't have a ton of updates, but I do have a lot of really cool guests coming up, so stay tuned for that. And of course, if you haven't done the all 5 stars, I'd love it if you would. And click follow so that I just don't want you to miss any of these episodes, right? Helps us both out. So in our first solo episode, I talked to you guys about protecting your energy, remember? And then in the most recent solo, we talked about taking your energy back. Remember, leaves falling, making room for all the amazing things to come. And then in this episode, here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about raising our vibration, raising the vibes so that we can attract all of the things we want to manifest in our lives. So what do I mean by raising our vibration? Well, raising your vibration refers to increasing your overall energy frequency to achieve greater emotional stability, mental clarity, physical well-being, and a sense of spiritual connection. So you guys know what it's like to be around someone that's low vibe versus high vibe. Yes? So someone low vibe would be someone who's, they're always upset about something. The Karens of the world. They're upset. Poor me. I'm never going to get a good job. I'm never this, that, and the other. Everybody's trying to screw me over. Like they're just at a low vibe all the time, right? They're never happy. We don't want to be that. We want to be higher because we attract and manifest to us things at our vibration. So if you're vibrating low, you will never get those amazing things because you don't match up with it. In order to get those, you have to raise your vibration up to the level where those amazing things exist. Does that make sense to you guys? We have to match up with what we're manifesting. So we cannot ask for the amazing job, the perfect partner, anything else if we're at a low vibe. We have to get to the vibration where those things will be attracted to us. And then we can manifest it. So that's why I'm talking about this. This is the goal. We want to raise our vibes. In today's episode, I want to share 3 different techniques that I use or things that I do to raise my vibes. And no, this is not about gratitude journals and meditation and mindfulness, exercising, eating right, blah, 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 blah. While those things all do raise your vibes, and they're very important. We have full episodes on that stuff. Today, I want to tell you about things that I do that might not seem like they're self-care, because self-care does raise our vibe really well. But these are things that I do, and I feel like this is a great time of year to share this with you and for you to start implementing them, because while the holiday season is the most wonderful time of year for some people, for a lot of us, it's just the most time of year, the most stressful time of year. Because listen, we are expected to spend way above our normal budget, right? We got to buy the gifts for people, and shit's expensive right now. We may also be experiencing our first holiday season after a divorce, after losing someone close to us. We might be unemployed this year. We might have a very strained or even non-existent relationship with family or friends right now. We might be fighting a serious illness. Lots of reasons, you guys, that this can be an exceptionally stressful time of year. So this is a really important time of year to practice self-care and maybe implement some of these things and continue raising your vibe even through this season. I want to challenge you to try to implement at least one of these practices. And to be clear, these are my practices and recommendations. I am not an expert, but I found that they work for me. So I hope that they will work for you too. Not all of them, but maybe just one little thing will work for you. So as I go through these with you, I'm going to give you real life examples of when and how I do this stuff. So the first one I want to talk about is trusting your intuition when something pops into your head. So if you think it, say it. If you want to do it, do it. And what am I talking about? positive and uplifting thoughts that pop in your head. All right, if you're looking at someone and you think, ooh, they kind of look like shit today. No, that's not coming out of your mouth. You know that. That's common sense. But could you train yourself to think that and then switch it to something that you see positive about that person? Then that comes out of your mouth. So I want us to work on thinking positive things about others and not just leaving them in our head. I want them to come out. I don't want you to miss the moment. You know what I'm talking about. You get home and you're like, man, I really wish I would have told her that her hair looked amazing today. I should have told her that. But now the time has passed, and so you're not going to do it. It could be with anyone, you guys. It could be in the grocery line. It could be with a coworker. It could be with the bank teller. It could be with a friend. It could be strangers. It doesn't matter. I want us to start spreading positive vibes to others in small ways, because that will raise your vibe also. And so things like I said, your hair looks amazing. The other day I saw someone who had the coolest earrings on, and I said, those earrings are the coolest thing I've seen in like forever. Where'd you get them? Right? Sometimes I'll say, I can't wear the color red, or I don't think I look good in red. So if I see someone wearing red, pulling it off, I will tend to just come right out and say, like, you are working that red. I cannot do it, but you can. Bravo to you. I'm loving the red on you today. It's just stupid stuff like that. And we need to especially do this with our kids, with the kids out there, especially our young girls, because we've got to start boosting the self-esteem so much earlier, just to help cut off self-esteem issues later. And I'm not talking about you're pretty. You're so pretty. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Be more specific with it. You know, it might be the haircut. It might be the shirt. It could be they've painted their nails. Whatever it is, you can say that. But also, I have some kids who I can just tell they're going to change the world someday. It's just a vibe. They're already putting off a higher vibe than I probably ever will. And so I like to tell those kids that. I will just look at them and say, you know that you're going to change the world someday, right? You are. I can't wait. I can't wait to see everything you accomplish. Say that stuff more often. It doesn't have to be your kid. It can be a kid you've just met or one in the grocery line. Say it. That stuff is life-changing. I still remember things people said to me when I was a child, good and bad. So remember that. And then I want to just tell you a little example of something that happened to me last Christmas time. So you guys know I volunteer for, foster kids and kids in the DCFS system. So I was bringing gifts, Christmas gifts to this family, and they had like 5 kids, no presents under the tree at the time. So I'm carrying them in from my car. I'm putting them under the tree, and, the little ones are jumping up and down, just spilling over in joy. And that was enough for me right there, right? Just see the little ones doing that. Well, the oldest in this household was a boy, and I'm going to say he was about 13-ish. And I never really got to see him very much because he's a gamer. You know how that is. 13-year-olds gaming. He was kind of, quieter, more to himself. So we didn't really know each other that well. He comes out of his room. I didn't even think he'd come out of his room, you guys. He comes out of his room, comes around the corner, and he sees these gifts. And he realizes that some of them have his name on them. So sometimes we forget how important this is to the older kids. We're always worried about the little kids and making sure they have toys and stuff. And sometimes the older kids get left out. And so think about that this holiday season. Don't leave the big kids out, all right, with donations or anything else. So he starts coming in hot. He's coming at me. He's coming straight. He's coming in hot, you guys. And I don't know him that well, but he's coming in hot and he's coming straight at me. I don't know what's about to happen exactly. And he gives me the biggest hug I feel like I've ever had in my entire life, especially from someone who wasn't my own child. And it just hit me. It hit me so hard. You guys, when I tell you that hug was the best Christmas gift I got last year, truth. I'm not kidding. And I wasn't even sure how to respond. This was nothing I expected. And he's giving me this huge hug, and it popped into my head. I wasn't sure what to say. I didn't want to overthink it. And so I just let this just came out of my head, you guys. I said, you are so special. And don't let anyone tell you differently. I don't know why I said it, but it came out, and he pulled back from me from this hug, and the look in his eyes. Oh my God, you guys. Big. These things are big. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's these small gestures. They don't cost anything, right? They don't take up much time. It's just letting high vibe thoughts come into your brain and letting them out. Don't leave them in there anymore. Let's let them out. Let's spread it to everyone around us, because you know how you feel when a stranger even just compliments anything. They like your shoes, they like your hair, whatever. Like you're walking on cloud 9 for a while after that, aren't you? So I want you to actively start doing that for others. Start it this season and continue it through your life, because you are raising your vibration and better things will come to you. Say there's situations that feel kind of heavy or awkward, right? And you feel like you want to instill some positivity into it. Yeah? I want you to do it. I want you to go for it. And it's not always going to turn out exactly the way you planned. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 examples of things I've done recently so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. I think examples work well sometimes. So I was in the UPS store. I'm waiting in line. I've got the package in my arms and I've got my phone in my back pocket. Now I listen to sometimes my playlist in the car, right? So you're jamming to the music. When you get out of the car, it turns off. When you get back in the car, it turns back on. That's how it usually works. Well, for some reason, this particular day, my music decided to go full loudness in the UPS store. And let me set the scene. There's 2 workers. There's maybe 3 or 4 people in line ahead of me. Kind of a busy day at the UPS store. And this comes blaring out of my phone.
When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, that came out of my phone at full volume. Guess what I did? You better believe it. I did a couple head bobs and I dropped it like it was hot with that package in my hands. It just came over me and I did it. And I thought it was going to just really, it was a heavy mood in there, guys. No one was smiling. I thought it was going to bring everybody, I thought we were all going to start dropping like it was hot together. Not the case. Not the case. You know, when you look up and you're looking around and you're like, well, this is awkward, isn't it? Because they're looking at me. The only one that got a slight little smile, little giggle out of was one of the workers. So there's that. And so what do? So I just reached to my back pocket. I turn off my phone. I turned that music off and I say, wow, tough crowd today, guys. Let's just get these packages mailed. Yeah. And I mean, I might have got a couple smirks. I thought we'd all be dropping it like it was hot together there in the UPS store. But guess what? I felt better about my day. I bet that one girl, the worker, feels better about the day. And I'm guessing some of those people went home that night and either regretted not dropping it with me or told everybody about the crazy lady in the UPS store. And either way, I'm taking it as a win. This is the stuff I'm talking about. If you have the ability to raise the vibe in a dreary little room, do it. Just do it. Screw it. And here's another one. So I was in the Taco John's line. I'm outing myself. I was in the drive-thru. Okay. I admit it. The Apple Grandes were back. I had to get in line. So I get up to the window to pay and it's a woman. She's middle-aged, just like me. She doesn't look like she's loving her job, I'll be honest. And I give her my money and I look behind her and there's this mega-sized box of caramel apple suckers. Okay. And I said, oh my God. Are those caramel apple suckers? Those are my absolute favorite. Are you selling those? And she says, what? And she turns around, she looks at the suckers. She says, oh, no. She's like, we take those on break with us. We love them. We take them on break with us. And I'm like, oh my God, do you have a paper application? Are there applications online? This sounds like a benefit that everyone should be having on their jobs. You guys are taking caramel apple sucker breaks. I'm loving it. And so we're chit-chatting back and forth, right? She's now perked up. She's smiling. She's having a better day in the old drive-thru. I'm feeling good about it. And she says, do you want one? And I said, no, I can't take one of your suckers. I'm like, no. And she says, why can't you? And I said, you're right. Why can't I? Hell yeah, I want one of those suckers. She is smiling from ear to ear, handing me this caramel apple sucker from the box. And that was it. That was the whole exchange, you guys. But that made me feel so good for the day. And that made her feel so good for the day. That's a win, right? I'm just telling you, that's a win. I'm going to give you one more. I recently, a couple days ago, had a dermatology appointment. I had a few red flag items that need to be burned off, a little bit sus. And I'm in there and I've got the little paper thing over my lap and I remember somewhere on my legs, and I remember that I've got one of these things that needs burnt off, kind of close to the old privates, you guys. And I'm remembering that I have not shaved, groomed, tidied up that spot. Okay. And I'm not talking about, this wasn't like all up in my business. This is just like vagina adjacent. Okay. You get it. And so these two women come in to do my treatment. They're both younger than me and quite a bit prettier than me. So I'm feeling a little vulnerable. And now I'm thinking, oh my God, what are these two going to think about this situation? I'm a little embarrassed. Am I going to be thinking about this the rest of the day now? And I thought, no, I'm not, because we're going to talk about this. So I say to these girls, guys, I'm really sorry, but I totally forgot that I had one kind of down yonder. And I'm going to just let you know it's not perfectly groomed. Okay. I didn't do a nice clean bikini shave for you girls today. And the younger one looks at me and her head's kind of like, and she says, oh my God, I'm lucky if I even get that done once a week. And then the other woman, who's a little bit older than her, but still beautiful and younger than me, says, oh my God, we're going on winter. That's not a thing right now. And I said, okay, thank God. I said, we're all in No Shave November, right? We're all laughing at this point. We're laughing. We're not having a conversation about the silliness of the grooming expectations we women have sometimes. And so it took a tense situation for me. It lightened the air in the whole room. I think it helped out their day. It helped out my day. And now I don't have to spend the day wondering what these women thought of the sitch. So what I want to just get across here is, if you're thinking something, if you're feeling something, I want you to let it flow out of your body freely. Obviously not the mean stuff, obviously the nice stuff, right? And if you're feeling any mean stuff in a room, make yourself switch it, flip it. You got to flip that thought. Make it a positive one, and then let that shit out of your mouth. Okay. I'm just telling you, it changes your whole day. It really, really does. And the final thing I want to say about all of this, since we are heading into a season of spending a lot of time with friends and family, whether we like it or not, is I want to talk about how we respond when we don't agree with something that's said around us. I want to talk about using neutral words and phrases. Now, this doesn't pertain to, let me give you a for instance. If someone's up in my house for this season, holiday season, and they want to start talking about how, I don't know, the LGBTQ community are all going to roast in the fiery bowels of hell. Yeah, I'm not going to let that go, right? Not going to worry about my neutral words then. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm not talking about the things that make you fierily, what am I trying to say? Super passionate and fiery about these subjects. Not talking about those. Talking about the other shit that's just, it gets under your skin a little bit. It's irritating that they have these thoughts or that they have said these things, but it's not worth your energy to fight about it today, right? So I want to tell you what a friend of mine says. She always uses the word interesting. Interesting. So let's say someone says something to you and you're like, I don't know that I agree with that, but I'm in no mood to talk about it. You can just say something like, oh, interesting. Or, oh, that's an interesting way to look at that. Because guess what? The word interesting, it's not really necessarily negative, and it's not positive like you're agreeing with them either. It just lets you brush it over. You've responded to what they said, but you haven't agreed or disagreed with them. So just throw out the whole, oh, interesting. Yeah. Another one I say often sometimes is, yeah, I don't love that. So I'm not saying that's bullshit. What are you saying? That sounds stupid. I just say, yeah, I don't love that. Or I'll say, I don't love that, but I mean, I can respect that opinion, I guess, Or you can throw out, yeah, I can see your point. I can see that. because you're saying you can see how they got to that point from their view. You're not agreeing with it. You're not saying it's your point or that you agree. You're just kind of getting through that moment, right? And then how about we do this? How about after we say, oh, that's interesting in that, we want to change it. Let's throw out something positive going on in the room, right? Just an idea to try, you guys. So that's kind of like the number one thing I do. Before I tell you about the next one, I want to share how this fits into my spiritual journey. So I have figured out by doing the work that I have been addicted to busyness my entire life. I have always been afraid that others would think I was lazy, right? I know you guys get it. I was working really hard to overcome the stereotypes I thought I would be labeled as. So I was a teen mom. I got married way too young. I came from a broken home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We all have our own stuff, but I had a couple years ago, I had several different readings at the beginning of my spiritual journey. And every single one, I would ask, they ask you, like, do you have any questions? And I would ask, okay, what should I be doing next? What do I need to learn? What should I be doing? And like, they all said the same thing. They all came through and said, you need to just learn to be. Just be. Slow down. If you slow down and just be you, you'll have the space to know what's next. And that came through over and over. So I figured out I really do have to slow down. I got to slow it down, both physically doing too many things and mentally, having too much going on up there. So that said, the next one, I love this one because I do this a lot. I want you guys to start being unapologetically lazy. Yep, I said it. And this is a tough one, especially for us midlifers, okay? Because we're also in a culture that's like, go, go, go. If you're not going full speed and getting a lot of stuff done, you're a lazy ass, right? And I want you to stop it. I want you to be unapologetically lazy because it can be a form of self-care. And it involves giving yourself permission to relax without guilt and embrace activities that require minimal effort. So I'm going to go through some examples, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but when you hear it, you'll know I'm talking to you. So let's go through some things that pop to my head and will pop into your head to let you know how to be unapologetically lazy. Okay, so let's just say it's the weekend. It's Saturday or Sunday or whatever. You've worked all week. You've put your time in. But now you have a bunch of stuff you feel obligated to do on your weekend. You've got to get a bunch of stuff done because you got all these people living in this house with you. You got to take care of. Everybody expects to have food in the house and clean clothes and everything else, whatever. But here's what I want you to do. You got a million things to do. Nope. Scratch that. You're going to be unapologetically lazy this time. How? Okay, well, first of all, you're going to embrace the rest and relaxation. You're going to allow yourself to take breaks and rest without feeling guilty because rest is vital for your mental and physical health. So what am I saying? I want you to say screw it, and I want you to grab your fuzzy blanket and lay down on the couch, take a nap ski. I want you to crawl back in bed and stay there a little longer if you want to. Okay? I want you to feel free to go out and crash in the hammock in the backyard. I want you to go float in the pool. I want you to go do something for you and not feel bad about it. I don't care if you're going to spend the whole damn day in bed. It's okay because you're being unapologetically lazy today. You're going to watch the movies. Let's talk about the list of stuff you got to get done. You got to do the dishes. You got a dishwasher. Use it. And if you're one of those people who wash your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher, I know people like that. I want you to stop right now. And I want you to just, as is, load them in the dishwasher, turn it on and walk away. So what if you have to run the dishwasher twice? Who cares? They're going to get clean and it's going to be fine. Yeah? Laundry. We got piles of laundry. I used to have mountains of laundry you could hardly walk over at times. I get it. It needs done. You know what? Load that stuff into the car. Go to the laundromat. You'll have it all done in 2 hours. Okay? Don't spend all of Saturday and Sunday doing laundry. You go to the laundromat and you do your laundry there. I think they even have services now where you can put them in a bag on your porch and they'll pick them up and take them. This is not something you do all the time. I get it, you guys. But listen, even if you can't get to the laundromat to get it all done, prioritize, do just the laundry that your family needs for the next couple of days, and then call it. And then call it, because you're being unapologetically lazy today. Are you one of those people who cooks? You just cook those beautiful homemade meals all the time, right? And now your partner or your family, whoever, they expect it all the time. Guess what? Not today. Today, we're going to order that pizza. Today, we're going to throw a frozen one in the oven. Today, we're going to all eat cereal. Guess what? We're eating cereal for dinner. And don't feel bad about it. We're going to DoorDash today. Whatever it takes. But you're not cooking today because you're going to treat yourself. And you're going to be what? You're going to be unapologetically lazy. And too bad. Let's talk about get-togethers. This is the season for a lot of get-togethers with friends or family. And you're just not feeling it. You feel obligated to go, but you're not feeling it. Back when you planned it, it was a yes. But now guess what? It's a no. Because if you feel like you're hitting your breaking point, stay home. Okay, nothing good is going to come of you going there anyway. So I want you to do this. I want you to say no. I want you to be honest about it. If it's a friend or a family member, I just want you to say, hey, we're going to have to take a rain check on today. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't do it today. I'm not in a spot to do it. And I'm sorry. I want to see you, but it's not happening today. And I want you to cancel it. But say you are going to go. Say you decide you are going to go to this, to go spend time with friends or family, right? Because let's say it's Christmas. All right, I guess I can't cancel. I got to go. Here's what I want you to do. Usually before an event, we spend a lot of time getting ready, don't we? We spend a lot of time getting ready. This time, I want you to do this. If you're someone who will spend an hour doing your makeup, I personally don't understand this because I have never, even for the most special occasion in my life, spent more than about 5 to 7 minutes on my makeup. But I have lots of friends and family members who will sit for an hour. And I'm sure they look way more amazing than me, but that's important to them. But I want you to do this time. I want you to just be unapologetically lazy. And I want you to only spend that 5 to 10 minutes on your makeup because no one cares. I mean, you care more than anyone else. Yeah. All right. And you're also your hair. Let's talk about hair because I'm going to give you a personal example here. So I know that I'm cuter when I blow dry my hair and it's down and it's curled and long and pretty and whatever. But guess what? I'm in middle age and 9 out of 10 times I put all that work into my hair and then I have a damn hot flash because my neck's hot from all that damn hair. And now I'm sweating and my hair's sweaty. And what the hell? I got to put it up anyway. So for some time now, I've been throwing my hair up in a weird, very weird, messy bun. And I will admittedly tell you it's not cute. I know it's not cute. But guess what? Unapologetically lazy. I see myself in pictures. I see myself in the mirror and I go, that's not great. That's not great. But you know what? I don't care. I'm comfortable. I'm in a better mood. And that's what the people where I'm going are going to appreciate more than my hair. I don't remember anybody's hairstyles from when we went somewhere. Do you? No. So throw the hair up in a messy bun or do whatever to it. All right. If you're in that shower, be a little bit lazy. Let's talk about showering because God, the grooming, all the grooming and all the things. Sometimes there's showers where you're like, oh my God, I got to shave everything, all the parts. I got to wash my hair. I should probably do a little conditioning treatment. I don't know. I should probably exfoliate just all the shit we do in the damn shower. Well, guess what? Sometimes you don't need to do all that. All right. Throw your hair up, get in there, wash the necessities. Yeah. Wash the shit that's important and then get out. Call it. Call it, you guys. Get out. Who cares? Don't do the shaving. Don't even wash your hair. Just get back out, rock some dry shampoo or whatever and call it. Or guess what? Some days, if you got nowhere to go, skip the shower. I know that's painful for some people to hear because I have people in my life that shower 1 to 2 times daily. But guess what? You don't have to. You don't have to. Like I said, if you feel the need to, do a quick wash. Get in there, do a quick wash and get out. Put your comfy clothes on and call it. All right? We do not have to go through all of these motions in the shower every time. No, because now we're practicing being unapologetically lazy. Yeah. Okay. So you're picking your outfit now. You're picking your outfit. And yeah, the outfit will look the cutest with the heels. But guess what? You don't want to wear heels because your feet are going to hurt after the first 5 minutes and you're going to be in a bad mood. And you're going to try to decide, do I just kick these shoes off? Is that appropriate? Or should I just make a different choice now? Make a different choice now. Screw it. Wear the flats. Wear the it's in style these days to wear tennis shoes with freaking dresses. Like, just rock it, you guys. Walk in there comfortable. Pick an outfit that's comfortable for you. And so I want to tell you this story. So this relates to something recent with me. So I had a little get together in my backyard. It was a birthday party for a family member that was turning 50. So listen, did I feel like I should be super cute for everybody coming? Initially, yes. Then as the day progressed and I'm getting stuff ready and everything else, I'm taking the shower, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not feeling it anymore. I'm kind of just wanting to be comfortable. So I chose my jeans. I chose a cute sweatshirt and my tennis shoes. Now, and the messy bun I told you guys about, the one that's not that cute. I don't care. I put it in a messy bun because, again, what people were coming over to my home for was to have a good time. In order for me to have a good time and put off those vibes to everyone around me, because our vibes ripple around to everybody around us. I knew that I was not going to be able to do the whole cute outfit, that I wouldn't be comfortable in. I wasn't going to feel great with my hair down, right? And I was just going to throw on the most comfortable shoes I felt like wearing. I mean, they were cute tennies, don't get me wrong. I wasn't looking homeless or anything, but I want to tell you that night, many people came looking amazing. All right. They came in their heels and these beautiful outfits. And I complimented every one of those people. And but I didn't cut myself down. I was like, whatever, I'm chilling. And I had a great time. I had a great time the whole time. Conversation, chilling, hanging out. Everything was beautiful. We had so much fun because guess what? Everyone at that party, if I texted any of them right now and I asked them to tell me what I was wearing, what my hair looked like, what shoes I was wearing, nobody would remember because I don't remember what anybody else was wearing anymore. I don't remember what was going on with their hairdo either. But what I do remember was the fun we had, because guess what else I did that day? Instead of spending the time on my hair and my makeup, I put together a kick-ass playlist for the party. I added in all of the jams from back in the day. That's what I remember. And I bet that's what other people remember. I remember we had kick-ass music going on. I remember we had so much fun. And that's the point of these get-togethers this season, you guys. So keep that in mind for your holiday get-togethers, whether it's with friends or family or whatever. These people already love you and care about you. And they could give two shits less what clothes you wear, how much time you spend on your makeup, and what's going on with your hair. So do whatever makes you happy. You be unapologetically lazy so that you can be your best self when you get there. We can practice this even at work. Even at work, you guys, I want to tell you this. Use your vacation days. Even if you have nothing else planned but chilling on the couch, use the vacation days. Take your break at work. I know you're trying to be an overachiever, but take the damn break because you're going to come back and be more productive anyway. And guess what? Share a funny story with your coworkers and laugh your ass off. Sometimes we need that little break during our day. So that's what I want you to do. We can do this in any part of our lives. That's it. That's that part of this number 2. Be unapologetically lazy. Try it out. You're going to love it because honoring yourself and your needs are raising your vibes. And in turn, those around you will have higher vibes too because you are happier. If you're happier, the people around you are happier. So let's do it. And number 3, the final last thing I want to talk to you about is paying it forward. And I know you guys have heard this term a lot, but this is a great opportunity to do something that raises your vibes as well as others, this time of year especially. All year, but let's start it now. So paying it forward involves acts of kindness that benefit someone else, often with the hope that the recipient will pass it on to others. So I want to give you some examples, and I want to preface all of this by saying I want you guys to always try and give with no intention of receiving anything in return. This is very important because if you're giving with an expectation of what you're going to receive back, more than likely you're going to be let down. And then that did nothing for you. Now you have animosity towards the person you helped. No, I want you to give with no expectations. That's my final thing. And I'm going to give you some ideas. Volunteer. Of course, I'm going to tell you to volunteer, but I want you to be really careful to make sure it's the right fit for you. If ringing the old bell for the Salvation Army out in the freezing cold is not your thing, that's okay. Find something that fits your life and the amount of time and money you have to give. So for me right now, it's helping kids in the foster system. But for you, it might be helping the homeless, volunteering at an animal shelter. Maybe you want to pay for the overdue lunch bills for the students at your local school. Maybe you want to volunteer and help some pregnant teenagers in your area. Maybe you feel especially passionate to help those that have experienced domestic violence in their lives. Maybe it's just helping a friend going through a divorce right now. Maybe you want to prepare a meal for your elderly neighbor. Maybe you're already preparing the meal for your family and you just want to make a plate and bring it next door to your elderly neighbor. Maybe you want to drop off groceries for a family in need. Maybe you want to donate those clothes we talked about we need to get rid of. Okay? With the donations, let me preface it with this too. Don't give away your crap, whether it's food pantry stuff. I'm going to ask that you just don't only give the junk that no one's eaten in your family either. And if you have a coat in your closet and it's in mint condition, but it's from like 1982 and you want to donate it, that's fine. But keep in mind that kids, teenagers, and adults, we don't like to feel bad and out of place. We want to feel like we belong and that we're as worthy as you are. So sometimes when we give away old junky stuff, they may not even wear it and it might not be helpful. It might actually make them feel worse sometimes. So that's just my experience in talking with people that are in that community and receiving donations. I know you guys don't all have money to give this holiday season. We already talked about how we're already stretched pretty thin just getting gifts for our loved ones. But if you have money to spare, I believe that if you can help others, you should help others. So this time of year, if you do have some extra money at the end of the month, I would encourage you to help others. You're going to feel good about it and you're going to bring a lot of good into the world. Money is meant to be spent, and when we can help others with it, let's help others with it. And so I want to give you an example of something that I did a few years ago. I've done it a couple of times, but I did this a few years back. So there were people that I knew, some different families and different individuals who I knew well enough to know that they were in need and that they were good people, though, that were not going to spend it, on drugs and stuff is what I'm saying. So I didn't want them to know it was from me, though. And I just didn't want that to happen. I wanted it to be anonymous. I got Christmas cards and I put money in them and I wrote a little note in them. I didn't sign it from me, but I put a little note in there about how all the wonderful things they're doing in life are being noticed. And, like I would put like, what a great mom I've noticed you are. And I just want you to know what a wonderful impact you're having in this world. I still a little note like that, just kind of a little generic, but uplifting note. And then I don't want to leave it on their porch because we're talking cold, hard cash inside. And I don't want to leave it on a porch for someone else to take, right? I wanted it to go to my recipients. So what I did was at the time I had one of my employees who I knew that none of these people would know and would definitely not connect them with me. And I had them go make these deliveries for me. So they just walked up to the door, rang the doorbell. The person came to the door, and I just told the person to say like, "Hey, Merry Christmas," and hand them the card and leave. Okay. That's what I did. So to this day, none of those people ever found out that any of that was from me as I had planned. I have heard that they appreciated it and that the money went to good use, but none of them know it's from me. And that's what I'm talking about. We're going to give without expecting anything in return. So I know not everybody can do that, but if you can donate to a local organization that you know the money's going to go straight to those in need, or you want to directly give money, that's just an idea. I'm just going to throw it out there. And then there's a lot of other simple things you can do, right? I want to challenge you to do one of the following. Handwrite a thank you note and give it to someone, or leave it in their mailbox, mail it to them. But I love a good handwritten thank you note. Try it. You can even just send a really nice text or email out to someone you've been thinking about. Don't put it off. Just do it. I would also encourage you to I want you to leave 5 positive comments on social media. I want you to go to 5 different people in your feed, and I want you to leave a positive comment for each of them. Okay? It can be simple. And then also think about this. Leave a rating or review for a small business you really enjoy, even just sharing their posts, because small businesses are struggling out there. Amazon and all these big guys are taking over. So these small businesses are really struggling. And I would just ask you, and it's free, even if you can't purchase their products right now, share their post, leave them a 5-star review, help them out, boost them up a little bit, send them a message, just letting them know how much you love their product. All right. Lift them up. You could do things like bringing snacks for your coworkers. Don't you love a good snack in the break room? You could also leave an inspiring book with a little note in a public space. You won't know who found it, but someone, the right person, will be led to that book and probably really enjoy it the same way you did. You could shovel a neighbor's sidewalk or driveway. You could go buy a little crystal. You know how you can get those crystals pretty cheap, like the little ones. Drop off a crystal with a little note about what this crystal's good for, or why you chose it for them, and give that to a friend. That could be a great Christmas gift even, or just a anytime gift. Cheap, but really thoughtful. Do it for your family, do it for your coworkers, whatever. Another thing is, if you've got a really cool playlist in your phone, share it. Share it to your friends or family. I asked for this for Christmas years ago. I asked my husband to get me an iPod. Remember those before we could load things into our phones? I asked for an iPod for my husband, and then I asked my 3 kids to each load in a playlist of songs they love and would want me to have. And I still have it, and I love it to this day. And how cool is it to be able to go back and listen to the songs from that era when the kids were younger, all at home, and just be able to think back to all the memories that were associated with those songs. So it's a good gift. Keep it in mind. And listen, you guys, this is all I really wanted to share with you guys this time. I want you to raise your vibes, not just for the holidays, but for life. I want us to all raise our vibes as a collective so we can manifest all of the amazing things waiting for us. And here's what I want you to do. If you think it, say it. If you feel like a vibe in the room needs to be raised, you be the one to raise it. That was the first one. Number 2, what are we going to be? We're going to be unapologetically lazy. Do it. You're going to love it. And the other thing is, I want you to pay it forward. I want you to find something to fill your cup and do something really nice for someone in your life. And it doesn't have to cost a dime. I want to challenge you guys to start doing one of these, just one thing that we talked about today, and start doing it tomorrow. Even if it's just sending one nice text, or being more conscious about saying something nice to a stranger, raising a vibe in a room, whatever it is, I want you to pick one thing and I want you to try it. Because once you start doing this stuff more often, you will feel your vibes raising and you will start to see amazing things come into your life. So have an amazing holiday season, everybody, whether it's the most wonderful time of year for you or it kind of sucks and it's the most stressful time of year for you. Either way, we're going to get through this together. Let's do it. I want you to go out there and raise your vibe, and everyone else is around you. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. Listen, I know your time is valuable. And right now, I'm feeling super grateful and totally humbled that you chose to hang out with me today. If this podcast resonates with you, could you do me a solid and hit that subscribe or follow button? That's going to help you out because you're never going to miss an episode. And it helps me out because you're never going to miss an episode. And if you have like 30 seconds more, could you leave a 5-star rating and maybe leave a kick-ass review? Thank you so much, and I can't wait to continue our journey on the next episode. Oh, and I can't forget the fine print. You know, the legal jargon. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We're just two friends on this journey together, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. You get it. See you next time.